Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar about Koryo University. So today we have Sevinch Alibekova as a guest, who is a freshman student right now at Koryo University undergraduate school. Sevinch got admitted to Koryo University in 2025 to start her studies in fall of 2025. She is one of the few people who got admitted with Global Leadership Scholarship, I think. So it's Korea University's prestigious scholarship award that is given only a handful number of students. Today, Sevinch will be speaking about her experience. I think all of the participants are especially interested in academic life, social life, as well as difficulty of studies, extracurricular opportunities that are available to Korea universities. We would probably also hear some words about Sky universities, the rivalry and competition between Yonsei, Koryo, and Seoul National University, maybe. Yeah. So yes, Sevinch has prepared a pretty nice presentation. So you'll be watching this on your screen. I think, Sevinch, you can now take the mic and start your speech. Thank you very much. If you have questions, by the way, dear participants, save them in the chat. Like you can literally type them, or please ask those questions during the Q&A session, which will be at the end of this webinar. Thank you.
Hey, thank you first of all, Jafarka, for this awesome introduction, and let me start now. So, as Jafarka has mentioned, my name is Alibekova Sevinch, and I'm from Uzbekistan, from the Samarkand. And today I will be mostly talking about my university life and how did I get into university and some important things students should know before coming to Korea, probably. So, let me start now. As Jafarka has mentioned, I have started my studies in Korea University, which is considered to be a Sky University, top three universities in South Korea. Uh, and I have started my studies in fall 2025 as the first semester student. And currently I'm majoring in the Global Open major, which is a new major in my university and which I actually recommend to some people majoring in. And in this presentation, I'm going to be telling why do I recommend this major and mostly about my university life. So let's move. Oh, yeah. So about me, as I said before, I'm from Samarkand. I'm from public school. I went to public school number 35 in Samarkand. And I have graduated from public school with a good GPA. And I think that it was one of the reasons why I got into Korea University and one of the reasons why I got a full scholarship. And also, I have done a lot of extracurricular activities, which I have mentioned in my essays mostly. And I will try to give more information about how I got a scholarship. Honestly, that was a little bit unexpected when I got a scholarship because when I just got the acceptance letter, I didn't got the letter about the scholarship because as you know when Korean universities send you the acceptance letters, you do not have the information about your scholarship there. It comes like differently as another email. So and when I saw my acceptance letter, I didn't see the scholarship notice. That's why I was a little bit sad and dismotivated about studying in Korea. But later, after like 2 days, when I've just opened my email, I saw that there was a notice that I have been chosen as a candidate for the Global Leader A scholarship, which is actually considered to be the biggest scholarship in my university because it provides 100% of the tuition. Yeah. So this is the photo of me from the Koyeonjeon Games. We actually in our university call it Koyeonjeon, but people who study in Yonsei call it uh Yeonko Games because Yeon goes for Yonsei and Ko goes for Korea University, right? And this is actually really interesting. I'm gonna be telling about it later. Let's move to the next part. Yeah, so this is the overall agenda of today's webinar. I'm going to be telling more about my student life and orientations, course registrations, clubs in my university, classes which we can take, and midterms and finals, and main activities in my university, and the start of the and the end of the semester. So, but before we move there, I would like to talk about some important things which students should probably know before coming to study in Korea, because I wish I knew those things before coming to Korea, right? So, first of all, the thing which is quite really important is the documentation process. This is actually uh, really important part of the application process. But if you are a student of the GLOB study, I think that you can easily trust them, because you should not really worry about your documents. They will be sent on time, and so everything will be okay. Because today, actually, I faced one situation. One other student who was also applying to Korea has texted me, and he asked me to contact not Korea University but Songgukwan University. And so he told me that he had some problems and he got the rejection letter. And he said that the problems were in the documentation part, because he was sure that the documents were did like the Songgukwan University did not receive the documents, right? So documentation is really important. And so as I said before, you should choose your how you should choose the office with whom you are sending your documents to Korea. Really how do we say that? So you should be really aware of the offices, because that guy told me that his documents did not arrive at Songgukwan University. That's why his application was rejected. So, and the other important thing you should know is the probably health insurance part. And I would definitely recommend you to make sure to visit doctors before coming to Korea, be it dentist, be it any other doctors. You should make sure that your health is quite good, because in Korea, healthcare costs a lot. To be honest, even with the health insurance, it may cost a lot. So you should make sure that you are healthy before coming to Korea, because even if you want to go to see a doctor, even if you're calling an ambulance, it will cost you a money, not a small money, but a big amount of money. So, and there are actually various types of health insurance. There are some which include dentist work, and there are some which do not include. The ones which are with the dentist, they cost a lot more. And the most important part I would like to mention is that as I'm 18 right now, I'm not 19, right? So I'm not considered to be an adult in Korea. So that's why my health insurance is much less than other people's who are 18, who turned 19, I mean. So I pay around 20,000 won per month, while other people may pay like 70,000 won to up to 100,000 won per month. That's like 70, $50, while I pay $15. So that's actually one of the advantages of the age here. You pay less for the health insurance, but you should actually make sure to pay the health insurance on time when you come to Korea, because I have heard a lot of situations when people were not paying it on time. Their visa was getting rejected when they went back to Uzbekistan and they wanted to come back to study in Korea. So there are a lot of cases like this. And yeah, there are age restrictions, as I've told before, because we graduate from school when we're 17, 18, right? Me, myself, I came to Korea when I was 17. I didn't turn 18 yet. So there are age restrictions in Korea. Yeah, the SIM card part, it's actually really hard to get a SIM card if you're not uh 19 years old here. And there are a lot of app registration problems, even online ordering problems, a lot of problems if you are not 19, right? So uh I think that like be not being an adult has its own advantages and disadvantages in Korea. And the living prices. Actually, the thing is that when I just came to Korea, I lived in the dormitory. But the only thing I do not really like about my university is that you can only live in dormitory up to one semester. So getting a dormitory, getting a room in a dormitory for the second semester is kind of hard. So probably even if you stay there for one semester. For the second semester, you should be starting finding an accommodation for yourself. And actually, I have realized that living in an accommodation is much more comfortable because for now, I am living with my friend who is also from Uzbekistan, so we'll live together and share everything. Uh, yeah, so living prices are also really important because if you want to move to the accommodation, you need to make sure that you have a good amount of money because in Korea it works, everything works different. If in Uzbekistan you just go and pay your monthly rent and live there, in Korea you need to give the deposit money, which is like minimum can cost you four how 5 million won. So in dollars, it's probably $4,000. That's a lot. So you need to make sure that you have that money. Even if you do not have it, you can live in other places like Goshi ones that are like really, really small rooms with a shared kitchen. But the room is actually really small, so it will be really uncomfortable for you. And yeah, you need to make sure that you have that amount of money if you want to if you want to move to another accommodation. And also ARC. As soon as you arrive to Korea, I would recommend you to get registered for the ARC because you need to get registered to go there, or you can do it online. But easier is getting registered and going there. But the spots are actually limited, especially in the beginning of the semesters, because a lot of students arrive and they also need to get ARC, right? So I would recommend you, even not after you come to Korea, but if you can, before you come to Korea, you should get registered for that in order to go to the immigration office. I faced a lot of problems actually with that because I forgot to get registered, even though the university was notifying me a lot about that. But I actually got registered, but for the later date. If I could do it earlier, it would, of course, be better. So this is the other advice I would give you. And also in the case of dorms, I think it's not only in my university, but in other universities too. You actually need the tuberculosis test. And you better make it in Uzbekistan because, as I said, healthcare is really, really expensive here. So there have been a lot of cases of students who forgot to make that test, but they need to move into the dormitory. Until you do not show them this test, they will not allow you to move into the room. They will not allow you to move into the dorm. So uh, you will have the other option, which is like making it in Korea. But as I said, it will cost a lot more expensive than in Uzbekistan. And plus, you will need to find a place where you can live until your results of your test come out. So you better remember that thing. And yeah, as I said before, make sure to visit your dentist, make sure to visit doctors before coming to Korea. That's also really important. I think that these are the most important things I would like you to know. So now we can move to the other part. Yeah. The thing I really liked is orientation in my university. So I think every university has it, be it in Korea, be it in the US, or even in Uzbekistan. So I really like the orientation part because they explain actually everything. So it's the most important part you should not miss because as they know you are a foreigner, they explain everything in a really detailed way. They show you the apps which can be useful for you for the transportation, for the chatting in Korea, because Korea has the different app from Uzbekistan, right? Which is Kakao Talk. So, and they will explain you actually everything. And also the part I like the most is the free snacks. My university always provides us with free snacks, be it orientation, be it any kind of other club fair activities, or even today I went to the boot camps where they were telling more about the majors they have in my university. As I'm a global open major, I'm going to choose my major in the next semester, right? So I went to those boot camps and they explain everything about the major. They give you free snacks even there, and so a lot more. Even during midterms and finals, before midterms they have midterm snack event, before finals they have final snack event, which is like totally free for you. You just need to go and to wait a little bit to get that food. So And actually, during orientation, it's much more easier, especially for introvert people, I think, to make a lot of new friends. That's the most important part of the university. As more people you know, as easier it will be for you to cope with your university life, right? So, yeah, and these are actually my friends I have met in the orientation, and we went with them to Hangang, which is in Korea. It's like a river in Korea, which is really popular for having picnics and stuff. So we can now move to the next slide. Yeah, course registration. This is also really, really important because it works different in Korea, I think. So in my university, not in my, but probably in every university, they have different courses, which are major courses, uh, which are major electives, general electives, and general required courses. So in my university, we have like academic English, exploration of the academic world, and college writing, which are general required courses, and each major has their own courses, which are required, which you need to take in order to graduate, and also major elective courses, which you also can choose yourself. So, and general elective courses, which are mostly taught in English by really good professors who are themselves from Canada, from other parts of the world. So, and after the course registration, you will have an add and drop period. So, if you think that you could not get the courses which you wanted, because course registration is quite a hard process. If you're especially a freshman, it will be really hard for you to do that alone. I'm telling from my own experience because it was my course registration was going on the totally different campus of my university. And as a freshman, as I just came to Korea, I didn't know about that. So I was searching for it, but it was really hard. I kind of got a little bit late and I missed out on the courses I wanted to take. But the thing is that you have an add and drop period, which is like for all students where you can add the courses you want to add and drop the courses you didn't like. So this happens after your courses start. And yeah, and also there are winter and summer, not semesters, but courses which you can take. For example, if you did not have enough credits in fall or spring semesters, you can add them up in winter or summer. So, but you need to pay for them too. But the good part is that you will have free Korean language courses in summer and in winter, which are really recommended to foreign students because they help a lot to improve your Korean level. And after that, even though you do not like the class and you want to drop it, there is still a chance to drop it because you will have the course withdrawal period that will not affect your grade and anything at all. So they give you a lot of chances to rethink about the courses you have taken. And yeah, so minimum credits in my university you can take are 3 credits, and maximum, it depends on the semester. For example, last time in fall semester, we had 19 credits maximum we can take. And in this semester, in spring, we have 22 maximum credits. So that works differently each semester.
Yeah, sorry,
Let's
like
move to the,
quick
yeah.
clarification. Does that include the Korean language classes you take? Like the number of credits you
And
mentioned?
yeah, each course you take have their own credits. Some courses give
Mhm.
like 1 credit, some give 2 credits, and
I
most of
mean,
them actually
Korean
give three.
courses too, right? Korean language,
Korean
I mean.
courses too. Yeah,
Yeah,
you mean the ones which are taken in summer and winter?
yeah.
Oh, the one which are taken in summer and winter, if I don't think that they give you credits because yeah, but the ones you pay for, you can take other
Mhm.
courses up to 9 credits in summer and
Okay.
winter. There will be a chance to do that, but you pay for them and you get your credits. But for the language courses during the semester, I am actually taking the courses right now. And right now, and I took them in the last semester too, the beginner Korean class courses. So they actually give you the credits, 3 credits, and there are like different types of Korean language classes, which are Korean speaking, Korean reading, Korean writing. So you can actually surround yourself with Korean language. Mm. And the next thing I would like to talk about is club fair. There are a lot of clubs in my university, which there are even some funny clubs, and there are even really, really good academic clubs. So the ones I have joined this semester, and yeah, you can join them in the beginning of the semester. The ones I have joined in this semester are KUISA. It's like Korea University International Student Association. There you meet with Korean people, foreign people meet with Korean people. They do different activities together. I really enjoyed it actually last semester, but mostly they meet and eat together so they can make new friends if their campus life is not going really well. So the second club I have joined is Korea University Orchestra because I have graduated from the musical school in Samarkand and I play violin. So I've joined Korea University Orchestra as a second violinist. So there are a lot of musical clubs in my university which you can join. Um, be it pop, be it orchestra, classical, or even dance clubs. We have a lot of different clubs. So, and the other club I have joined is KUDC. This is Korea University Debate Club, and these are actually pictures from the KUDC. This was the tournament between other universities and my university, like 15 universities in Korea debate tournament where all of them took part. And so yeah, these are the pictures from there, and I actually got some certificates as a debater. I actually never knew that I can be a good debater until I joined that club, so I'm really glad that I've joined that club. And I want to say that you should not be afraid of doing the things you want to do, and especially joining the clubs can be quite helpful for you to meet new people if you're feeling kind of lonely in the campus. And the other club I have joined is KU Talk, which helps you to improve your public speaking skills and which helps you to improve overall your confidence and everything. So there are a lot of different clubs which are held like once or twice a week. It depends on the club itself. And the funny club I was talking about is Korea University Cat Shelter. There are a lot of cats in my campus. So if you join that club, you will be assigned an other partner with whom you will need to feed the cats like once a week or twice a week, just going around and feeding the cats you see. So this is quite interesting if you are a person who loves cats and animals. So now we can move to the next part. Oh, yeah. So talking about the classes, you will have them from Mondays to Fridays. But you can actually adjust your timetable yourself because most of the people in my university they don't have classes on Fridays because they choose their classes themselves. So that means that they rest for 3 days instead of two. They rest on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that is actually kind of comfortable. uh, so classes here last for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Then you have a 15-minute break to go to your other class. And there are a lot of outdoor activities in every classes. For example, last semester, I have joined a class which teaches Korean history and culture. And there we went to museums like 2 times a semester. The professor was actually really kind and he could speak English fluently, even though he was Korean. So we were going to different museums which are like totally free. They do not charge you anything. And also I would like to mention about the student ID. As soon as you get into university, you get your student ID which will look probably like this. I know that I'm looking really, really pale and white here because this is actually a strange part. In Korea, it does not matter what kind of photo do you give them, they anyways make you really pale. Probably it's because of the beauty standards they have. So, and with this student ID, you will actually be able to do a lot of things in the university, like going to libraries, going to study rooms, and you even can get a discount in the different shops in Korea because you're a student. For example, my friends went to the Apple shop to get themselves a tablet or headphones, right? And they can get a good discount because they are a student. So we can now move to the next part. Yeah, student facilities which we have in our university, there are actually a lot of them. When I just came to university, to Korea University, I was actually first of all shocked because of the architecture, because it's a lot of people say that Korea University looks like Hogwarts, you know, from Harry Potter, and because of its like really, really uh old design of the buildings, but they are well equipped. All of them are well equipped. So the design of the university is really good. And also you have a lot of facilities which you can use as a student. So for every school, I mean, for example, business school, engineering, computer science, and other schools, they have their own building, right? And in that own building, they have study rooms. Other than study rooms, they always have they always have cafes. They always have uh, places where you can just sit and study, or you can just sit and talk. So there are a lot of different facilities. And also there are 5 libraries in my university, which are really, really big. So main library, science library, Hisong Law Library, Central Digital Library, and Graduate School Library. So all of them, you can go there and study, but make sure you need to make sure that you're reserving a place, especially during the midterm and final season, because students study a lot in Korea during that time, especially Korean students. The thing I've noticed about them is that they do not actually study a lot during the semester, but when it is like time is getting close to the midterm, 1 week before the midterm, they study like till the morning, from the morning till the evening. So there can be no spots left, so you need to make sure to reserve that spot. And there are a lot of other facilities like 24 to 7 supermarkets. If you want to study in Korea, then you should have definitely watched probably some K dramas. And if you have seen some K dramas, there are a lot of like GS25 CU shops which work 24 to 7, where you can just go and eat ramen if you don't have like enough money to eat in a cafe or restaurant. You can eat tteokbokki there and a lot of other snacks. So in my university, we also have them which work 24 to 7. And the thing is that, which I really like, is the prayer rooms. If you are a Muslim, we especially, I think that in other universities in Korea they don't have it, but only in our university we have prayer rooms, so you can go there and pray on time. And we also have the hall called SK Future Hall. So here there are a lot more facilities. There is like glasses shop. There is like places where you can sleep, places where you can study, and a balcony where you can go out and eat. There are a lot of places where you can actually eat. In Korean we call it 식당. In yeah, canteen probably. So, and a lot of cafes where you can go and just chat with your friends. And yeah, so there are really a lot of facilities. If you will come, you will actually be shocked, because I was myself shocked because of those facilities. So if we move to the other part, there are 2 main semester activities which I talked about in the beginning of the slide. They are actually really interesting, because first of all we have Korea Yonsei University Games, which are called Koyon. Uh, so their Yonsei sports team and our sports team, there are 5 sports which are played. So every fall semester, yeah, it's held during the fall semester. Every fall semester, students gather in the big stadium and they watch the games, they cheer for their university. And that's so interesting, because I was myself shocked by the atmosphere they have it there. Everyone was literally screaming and supporting their university. And we even in our university have the song which is like Yonsei chicken. Why do we call them chicken? Because their emblem is like an eagle, but we consider that to be not an eagle but a chicken. So we have a song which is called Yonsei chicken, and we sing it when we go to this Koyeonjong games. But actually, before that Koyeonjong game, you will have a cheering OT, 2 of them. One which will be held only with Korea University students, and the other one which will be held in Yonsei Amphitheater, which is really, really popular uh, in Yonsei and in everywhere. So it will be held there. but not only Yonsei students, but Yonsei University students and Korea University students. So you will be together there, cheering, singing, and making jokes about each other. Even though I have noticed that even though they make jokes, students are really, really friendly there, because this semester after Koyon Games, our university won the game. But yeah, and after that, we were getting a lot of free food because everyone was so happy. And next to our university campus, there is an Anam Valley. So we were getting a lot of free food and free everything. And we could also meet some older students who have graduated Korea University like 30, 40 years ago and talk to them. So, and there you could also see Yonsei students who were also really happy for Korea University team, which won the games. So we are actually really friendly with Yonsei students. And there is one more activity, which is Ypsilanti. If you are so sorry. So it is held during the spring. So it will be soon in May 15th. So if you are really, really into K-pop, the thing is that you can get the tickets for this concert, for this event. And if you're really into K-pop, you just do not know who will be performing there. But even after getting the tickets, you can go and it will be like unexpected K-pop idols or anything. So you can enjoy that for a really, really cheap price. It's like 20,000 won per student. So this is really fun, I think. If we move to the other part. Yeah, end of the semester. If you're wondering who is this man, this is actually the current president of the Korea University. I just randomly found this photo on Google and I really liked it, so I decided to put it here. So there are scholarship types which we can cover right now. As I have mentioned before, the biggest scholarship is the Global Leader Scholarship. Whoa. Okay, just a sec. Yeah. So the biggest scholarship is the Global Leader Scholarship A, which covers your 100 percentages of your tuition. And I think in order to get that, first of all, probably it depends more on your major you are applying to, because if there are a lot of students in your major and if all of them have like really outstanding honors, and extracurricular activities, or for example, highest GPA and high IELTS, probably the one who is the best is gonna get that scholarship. Uh, so yeah, and also in order to keep that for the rest of for the rest of your studies, it will be quite easier in the first semester because you will need a GPA which is 3.5 out of 4.5. That is actually not that high, and that's possible to get if you really study. And you will need only 12 credits out of 19. So that's okay. You can keep it for the second semester. But this scholarship is given for 1 year. And if you want to extend it to the other semesters, to the other years, now it will be really, really hard because you need to be a really outstanding student. I know a lot of other students whose GPAs are 4.3, 4.4, 4.2, but they cannot get even 30 percentages of the scholarship because there are other students whose GPA is 4.5, which is the ideal, which is the excellent one. So the scholarship is probably will be given to them rather than you. So studying in Korea quite can be quite tough. So you really need to make sure that you, if you are coming here, you are not concentrating on the other things, but on your studies more, especially if you wanna get and keep the scholarship. Because I know a lot of other students who, after coming here, they think that they can combine kind of their work and their student life, but that is probably really, really hard because isn't it better kind of to study better and get that scholarship instead of working? Because your study will be actually free and you will study well. I know a lot of other people, a lot of other students who went to work and their GPA is actually quite low, and they probably regret that they stopped studying well, maybe. So yeah, and if we go back, there are other requirements for the scholarship, and as I said before, that really depends on your major. For example, in business major, there are a lot of students because most of the people in Korea University, because of its business school, it's quite really popular. In Korea University, there are a lot of business students. So if you are applying for a business, if you are getting a scholarship, then you are probably really, really clever or really, really lucky. So yeah, during applying to university, I think that it is not that hard to get the scholarship, but after studying here, you will realize that it's harder to keep it. There are also other scholarships which are 50 and 60 percentages. You can get them if your GPA was higher than the other semester's GPA, but not in all of the cases. If your GPA was like 3.2 in the last semester and now it's 3.5, you will not get a scholarship. It actually needs to be higher than 4.0. So in order to get a scholarship, you need to study really, really well. That's the thing a lot of students talk about. Yeah. If we move to the other part, yeah, I think that's all. So yeah, thank you. These are actually the stickers of my university because Korea University is represented by this tiger. And all of the pictures I was using during this presentation are from my university, and this is the campus, how it looks like in real life.
All right. Thank you so much, Sevinch. I
Yeah.
think that was great deal of useful information for people who want to study at KU. It's like, yeah, we started like with the process of documentation, some really nice and useful information that many people do not know about, like, taking tuberculosis test, stuff like that you need to do before you come to Korea. Yeah. I hope our participants have some really nice questions that they want to ask, that they have been waiting to ask. Yeah, the floor is open for questions now. So if anyone who wants to ask question, you can just unmute yourself and start speaking. If you're shy to speak, then you may also write the question in the chat. All right. Does anyone want to ask a question now?
Assalamu alaikum. I couldn't join the the meeting earlier, so will you share the presentation later?
Yes, yes. So the recording of this whole video will be shared on our YouTube. I'll share the link in the chat after like few minutes. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So there's a question, Sevinch, in the chat. It's about major that you're studying. Do you want to share
Yeah.
some information about major? I think you mentioned the global open major,
Yeah,
but
I actually wanted to, yeah,
yeah.
I actually wanted to mention that because that's really important, but I forgot, so I'm gonna do that now. So I'm majoring in the global open major, which I have mentioned is new in my university. There are quite a few new majors in my university, which are like artificial intelligence, global entertainment, and global
Oh,
open
wow.
major.
Okay.
Yeah. So the global open major, it is a major where you study the subjects you want to study in the first year. I actually thought like that before coming to university because during the course registration, as I have mentioned before, I have faced a lot of problems because when I was coming, I thought that, oh, I can choose courses from other schools, other departments, for example, psychology or for example, science or chemistry or biology. But the thing is that you still can do that.
Sevinch, I think you accidentally muted. Yeah, could you please unmute
Oh
the
yeah,
mic?
sorry. So it will also depend on your Korean proficiency. Even though you have majored in global open major, yes, you can take the classes which are taught in English. There are a lot of classes in Korean University which are taught in English, but if you are, for example, interested in psychology or if you're interested in sciences mostly, then you probably cannot take those classes as a global open major student because you need Korean proficiency for them. And in my major, which I like a lot, is that I was really uncertain about what do I want to choose, who do I want to become in the future, right? And I was really happy that there is a global open major in Korea University because it gives you one more year to think about your future, to think about who do you want to become in the future. Because I thought that choosing a major is really important thing because it will stay with you till the end of your life, right? So, for 1 year, you can stay here, you can think more, you can meet other people from other majors, and you can communicate with them, ask them, did you like your major? Most of the people think that global open major is like the foundation. Which other universities have, like for 1 year, but it is actually considered to be one of the 4 years you study. So if you major in global open major, it does not mean that you will need to study for 4 more years. It will be overall 4 years with the global open major. So you do not really need to worry about that. And
It is like
what
in
more?
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry for interrupting. I think it's important to add. It's like in the
Mm,
liberal arts universities, like in the US, when you start
mm,
your undergraduate degree in most of
yeah,
the US institutions,
yeah,
you have time to declare your major until like your third semester. So you have like
yeah.
literally 1.5 year to study anything you like and then think about the major. That is a very
Yes.
nice flexibility because it's very rare in Korean universities. Like most Korean universities have, very fixed curriculum that you need to take, like for mandatory and for elective subjects, they even have set curriculum for those too. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for adding. That's actually really important because when I talked to my other friend who is in the US, he told me that it is the same in my university. I don't have a major for now, but I can study other subjects too. So this is actually really good. Uh, and what can I add? As I said, there was a boot camp, for example, today, and it was yesterday too, where you can go and check other majors. They will be telling you more about their departments, and they will be telling you why should you choose their departments, right? You're gonna get to know more about the courses they have in their departments, in which languages their courses are taught. So this is quite a good opportunity if you have not made up your mind about your major yet. So I'm actually quite thankful for Glob Study for giving me an opportunity to get to know about this major because I have met so many other awesome people in this major who are also from Turkey, from Philippines, from China. There are a lot of students from China who major in global open major, and even Koreans. Most of the people think that we have chosen global open major because we cannot speak Korean for now, so we have 1 year to learn Korean. That's
Yeah.
also a good advantage too. But I was shocked when I get to know that even Koreans choose global open major because they have also not made
Wow.
up their mind. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not only because of the language.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's great to know. The other option is to go for international studies, right? Like you can apply either with option A, which is like international studies program, and the option B is like global open major program, right? During the admission process.
National International Studies program. I think that Global Open Major is actually connected to the International Studies because
Mm,
our division is under the division of International
international
Studies.
studies.
So
Okay.
College of International Studies in itself has like other majors too, which is International
Yeah.
Studies itself, International Relations, Global Open
Yeah.
Major, which is my major, and there was one more, something starting with global. I do not really remember right now. So,
Okay.
it
Okay.
was global Korean studies.
Korean. All
So
right.
yeah,
That's it. Okay. All right. Yeah, there's more questions. So the next question asks about your stats, like IELTS and etc. If you feel comfortable, you can definitely share them. Yeah.
yeah. So my IELTS was 7.5. Honestly, as it is mentioned in the description about the webinar, I have started studying English since I was like 9 years old. I don't know, 10 years old.
Wow, that early.
Yeah, because not only me, but my sister and my brother, all of us, my mom was giving us to the extracurricular classes. So I started studying maths and English starting from that time. And I also went to the musical school. So when it comes to English, my IELTS is 7.5. Yeah. Probably this is the only stat I've applied to with Korea University, my IELTS and my GPA, as I have mentioned before, because GPA actually quite really matters for
I agree.
Korea, especially. Yeah, GPA matters a lot. And what comes to my other honors, as I have mentioned, this is musical school. I did not exactly send them my diploma from the musical school, showing them that I've graduated, but I have mentioned it as, if I'm not mistaken, in the essay. So you know that you need to write essays for universities before applying, right? So I have mentioned that in my essay, and I have also mentioned some extra other activities. For example, uh, I was the part of the, how do we call it? Not club, but the society which supports
Yeah.
women in Uzbekistan, which makes them more educated and stuff. And I also have been volunteering in other activities, for example, running marathons. So I have also mentioned them in my essays. So I think that your essays play a great role too, because they show the university what have you been doing throughout your life and why are you the ideal candidate for getting accepted compared to others.
Yeah, totally agree. GPA is of extreme importance for
Mhm.
most of the Korean universities. And also, I want to add for some universities, so this is outside of KU, all right? For some universities in Korea, something that determines your scholarship is your IELTS score. Like they even mentioned this in the admission guideline. Like if you have IELTS 7.5 or if you have IELTS 8, then you get guaranteed 100% tuition covered scholarship. But in KU's case, I would say it was quite different. Like it's not, the only IELTS that played a role in determining the scholarship. Because I think, yeah, several people actually shared this information. Like there are some students with even higher, maybe IELTS, maybe very nice SAT scores
That's
who
right.
still weren't able to, secure any scholarship from KU. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, my friends still ask me how did I got the scholarship because they're quite surprised. Because there's statistics, I mean, the IELTS and SAT scores, and what they have been doing during their student life is like much more better and much more like appealing to others compared to my statistics, right? So they still ask me, how did I get the scholarship? So yeah. So that probably, as you said, does not only depend on your statistics, on your SAT and IELTS score, but also probably on your essay. And also, when it comes to GPA, I think that all of us can agree that if we're studying in public school, then probably other countries will not take our GPA seriously, right? Because the education system in public schools in Uzbekistan is not that strong as in other countries. So I think that the way you bring up your essays, the way you mention your GPA, how did you obtain it, and everything until you do it in a correct way. So I think that plays a huge role. You can get accepted definitely.
Okay, let's move on to next question. So there's a question about school grades. I think we have already answered that question about the GPA thing, right? So yeah, basically GPA is really important for admission process. And there's the next thing, when we will apply for fall 27 semester. Okay, fall 2027. I think the application period for fall 2027 will be during March of 2027. So it's exactly 1 year later, you can say. Because deadline for fall 2026 was just in March 2020. Oh, sorry, March 28th of 2026 here. Yeah. So basically every year Korea University has admission process during the month of March. Yeah, I hope that
Yeah.
answers the question.
Yeah, and also I would actually like to add up. There are some students who cannot get into universities during fall, for example, because we graduate we start going to universities in fall in Uzbekistan, right? But the thing is
Yeah.
that in Korea, the main semester is spring. So even if you do not get into university in Korea in fall, so you may not worry because you can reapply again and you can definitely get into university in spring, which will be much more interesting because there will be more activities, more new people in spring because
Wow.
university starts here in Korea in spring.
Just like in Japan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. Uh, there is a next question about any recommendations on how to write good essay. Sevinch, do you want to
How
share
to write
anything?
this? Yeah. So as I have mentioned before, I think that you should just be I mean not writing it with the AI or anything, but just be yourself. Just write about everything you have done, not also exaggerating, because if you over exaggerate, that will be like looking like a real lie. So maybe you should also have some other certificates to back your things up because, for example, in my essay, I have mentioned that I have been doing volunteering and I have taken part in the running marathon in Samarkand. But in order to back it up, I also had a certificate from the volunteering, and we have actually sent that to university as a proof. So you can mention some other things for which you may not have the backup for which you may not have the proof, but mostly in your essay, I think that you should just be really sincere about your future because there was a question which was asking about future. If you graduate, what are you going to do? So I think you should really think about that and understand who do you want to become in the future. In my case, I even though I was choosing a global major, so it was different because there is a question which asks why are you choosing this major? So even though I was choosing a global open major, I said that after graduating from global open major, I'm gonna choose this major, and I have mentioned psychology as the major I'm gonna choose. So I think you should be really sincere. You should be really accurate with the things you're writing in your essay, and until everything looks like true, looks appealing to them, you will get accepted. So I don't think that you need to over exaggerate like some people do when they're applying to the US. They like really over exaggerate their extracurriculars in Common App. And as it looks like fake, they definitely get rejected. So I think that you do not need to over exaggerate. Even without doing that, you can get accepted.
Okay. And so there's another question. It's about whether or not students, I mean applicants, focus more on the job they want to get, and that's why they're taking these courses, or why specifically they chose this university. And some things we did to prove that we are working on this path. Okay, I think this question is really about if we need to talk about major more in the essay, or if you should talk about the university itself.
Oh, yeah, I got this question. I remember the times when I was applying for the US, for example, all I was doing is I was writing about the universities. I was searching in the Google for the professors who work in those specific universities, and I was writing like, oh, I want to take the courses of this professor and everything. But the thing is that I got rejected from the universities to which I have written such kind of an essay. But it's probably mostly depends on the case you are applying to university. I mean, if you write more about the university, then that's not really good, I think, because you are as a student applying to university and that university themselves they know that they have for example those professors or they have those things. You do not really need to write about the university but probably more about you, about what kind of person you are, about what kind of things you have done during your school and what are you actually planning to do after graduating, because this is the most important part. They choose you not because I mean, they are good. If you're saying that you are good, that's why I'm choosing you. But they choose you probably because you see yourself as a student in that university. So you should probably describe those parts more.
That's very nice piece of advice. Yeah, you need to really talk about you because any student can talk about why this university is excellent, right? I mean, one of the first reasons why many people apply to Sky universities or top institutions in the US, it's because they have cool ranking, cool reputation, and most people do mistake of writing a lot of good words about that university, but they forgot to really tell about themselves and kind of, show what their personality actually looks like, what kind of person they envision themselves to be. Yeah. Right. Thank you for mentioning that, Sevinch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Another question is about availability of architecture major at Korea University. I think, yeah, Korea University has architecture major. It should be in College of Engineering, most probably. Yeah.
So I have actually a really close friend who studies in the architecture major in Korea University. The thing is that I would like to mention in architecture major, you do not study for 4 years, but you study for 5 years.
5 years.
It's kind of 5 years. It's kind of really important, and there are not a lot of students in architecture major, which is probably also kind of good for you because you will be like small amount of people. You will all know each other. As like much as my friend has been telling me till now, she said that she really enjoys that major, and they have actually really good classes, especially in Korea University. Even if you choose one path, you do not study only that generally, for example, architecture. I cannot tell examples about architecture definitely, but probably about business. For example, if you study business, you do not study only like broad business generally, right? But you go deeper into marketing, management, accounting, and everything. You have eight separate things in business itself. So as you graduate, you can work as a manager, as a marketing manager, or as an like you can work in any office from that sphere. So this is what I actually also enjoy in Korea University, because even if you choose one path, you do not end up studying only that. You have a lot of different classes which you can study. The same works with the architecture, I think.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, so there's next question about the method of application. So the question is about whether students need to apply via Common App. So Common App is a US platform. So you need to use Common App for applying to US institutions. For Korean universities, Common App can work only for Yonsei University, though there is like disadvantage of applying to Yonsei via Common App, because if you apply via Common App, you have to pay $150 of application fee. I would say it's better to apply to Yonsei via the Korean application platform, which is either Yuwei or Jinhak Apply. And you will end up paying like 150,000 Korean won, which is equivalent to $105, right? I mean, that is not only disadvantage. The other thing is that you will need to fill out some application forms again. Even if you apply via Common App, you still need to fill out some forms for Yonsei specifically. But anyway, yeah, I would say it's much better off if you create Jinhak Apply or UA platform accounts and apply to Korean universities via those platforms. But online application is not all for Korean universities. Like even in case of Sevinch, I think you remember, it was like delivery of documents, right? So you need to collect all the documents physically, and they need to be in certain format. Like your transcripts need to be apostilled, and they also need to have notarized translation into English if the original is not in English. You need to gather all those documents and dispatch them, like send them via delivery postal service to a physical address of the university in South Korea. Yeah. Do you want to share anything more, Sevinch, about the process?
No, as I have like mentioned before about the documents, this is, as you said also, this is really, really important because this plays a huge role in your admission. Even if something is not done in a right way, because it matters a lot for Korean universities, even if something is not done in a right way, I think you may easily get rejected. So documentation is really important. Everything should be, as you said, translated and in a right way.
Yeah. Okay. So there is next question about application fees. I mean, overall expenses, I would say. Yeah, the question is whether or not applying to Korean universities if is free of charge. Unfortunately, no, you cannot apply to Korean universities like for free like you do for US institutions via Common App. For US, you can get, Common App fee waiver and apply to as many universities as you want, like up to 20. But for Korea, you have to pay the application fee for each university. For example, for KU, the application fee is 150,000 Korean wons, which is again 105 US dollars, right? For some universities, it could be less, like 90, 70,000 Korean wons. It depends on the ranking, I would say. Like the higher ranking university has, the higher amount of application fee they charge. Apart from that, there is also expenses for delivery and the apostille, I mean, oral documentation process. For example, you need to do apostille, and you can do that through notary public office or specific person who's responsible for that. Overall, the application process, I would say it would cost you at least couple $100, like 200, maybe 300 in some cases, depending on documents that you have, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would also like to mention I have actually also worried a lot about that money because I thought if I do not get accepted, then I mean that money would be like wasted. They do not give it back, right? But if you are really sure that you want to study in Korea, if you are sure that you can really see yourself in Korea, just trust that you will get accepted till the end. So do not really worry about money now because it will anyways come back in the future after you graduate from your university, right? So I think that the thing you should worry now about is not how much you're paying or how like if you're spending a lot on your application process or not, because it will definitely pay off in the future. So you should just be trusting yourself, trusting in your knowledge and everything. So yeah, do not worry a lot about that.
Yeah, it is important to set a correct strategy for applying to Korean universities. Like you
Yeah.
don't have to apply to any random top university that you hear a word about, but you need to do, make research. For example, most Korean universities have restrictions for the English language majors. They might have only, 3 to 5 majors available in English. If you want to study completely in English, then you better apply to only a few number of universities. Like, for example, Yonsei has fully English taught undergraduate programs. Kyunhee University has more humanities-oriented English language programs, while Sunyuntwan, SKKU, right? It's also top 100. They have more engineering-oriented English language programs, right? So you need to make really good research on Korean universities before you even decide to apply. All the information is actually available on their websites. Like when you start reading admission guidelines, it's usually a document of like 30 to 50 pages. So you have to really read them through carefully. Yeah, and then you can make a decision whether you should apply. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have actually accidentally read my sister's comment in the comments. She has written, "Girl, do you miss your family?" Yeah, that's the really important part actually, because you will miss your family a lot, especially when you will just move from your family, as that happened to me in fall. So you will think a lot about your life overall. Did you make the right choice, like leaving your family in other country and coming alone, as especially as a girl to Korea? But Korea is a really safe place, I would like to say. So you do not really need to worry about safety and everything. There are like CCTVs, cameras everywhere. So yeah, you will actually miss your family, but if until you like understand that why are you coming here, like that's to pursue a higher education, to get a good education and to get educated, right? So until you really understand that, everything will be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Homesickness.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you will definitely be missing your family. when you're abroad, like especially for long term. But I would say, yeah, Korea is not that far, like from Uzbekistan, but you still have that feeling, especially you'll be also missing, food, the culture, like the occasions that you have with the family, like family gatherings and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
it's
right.
good that you mentioned about safety, Sevinch, because it's also important aspect of choosing
Yeah,
universities as well as countries to study in. Like in terms of safety, I would say most of the Asian countries, including Korea, China, Japan, Malaysia, they're quite safe for living. Like you can go out, not being afraid that you could get
yeah,
attacked or you could
right,
get pulled over by someone,
right, right,
like it usually happens in the States, for example.
right.
Yeah.
So I think that Korea is a very good choice both for you and for your parents probably because I know that there are a lot of parents who really worry about the safety of their children. So I think that compared to the US, as you said, because I like if you have read the news recently, there are
Yeah.
like some Uzbek students who
Yeah.
got shot in
Yeah. Yeah.
the
Terrible
US.
news. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I think that Korea is really safe for you because
Mm,
there are no this kind of situations.
true. Yeah. Yeah. It's really sad to hear those kind of news. Yeah. But it really happens in certain countries. Okay. Yeah. Do you have Telegram channel? Like one of the question asks.
Telegram channel. I actually used to have it before applying to Korea University, but I stopped sending anything there because I don't have time to do that. But maybe I can share my Instagram if they want to follow.
Yes. 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 You could share your Instagram,
So I
maybe
don't know how can I share
username
it. Yeah,
or a
maybe I can
handle.
just write it.
Yeah, you could actually just type in the chat. Yeah.
Mhm.
Some people who want to follow, they could
Yeah.
just, yeah, follow. All right. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess it's time and you sort of, I guess, have midterm preparations or like studies, assignments.
Yeah,
Uh
my midterms have finished, thankfully, last
oh,
week.
okay.
Yeah.
Wow, nice, nice. So did you complete them successfully?
Yeah, actually, thanks God. Everything was good.
Okay. Okay, okay. I understand the stress that you have like before the
Yeah, yeah.
midterm. Yeah, so it's over, you can say. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, thank you so much, Sevinch, for your valuable time, for sharing so much information about admissions, about life at Koryo University, generally in South Korea, how things work. I think it's pretty useful for all the applicants. One of the core goals that we have for hosting such webinars is for people to understand what kind of universities they are applying to. We want people to envision basically where they want to study before they, even think about studying there, apart from rankings and stuff like that, because most people, when they choose universities, I don't know why they consider ranking, and that's like almost the only important factor they have, but it
Mhm.
needs to be more than that, right? So yeah, that's sort of a mission that we have. We want to raise the awareness of people about the universities, like in South Korea, United States, Europe, overall Asia. Yeah. Thank you for contributing to that. I hope your
Yeah,
studies will be going just as excellently as they've been already. Yeah. Again, if you have any last word you want to say before we finish the webinar, yeah, you may say anything.
yeah, I would actually like to wish everyone good luck because I know myself, I went through this. This is not an easy process, right? You will be stressing out a lot, but everything will be figured out in the long run. So, if you like try a little bit hard now, later you can be living your life you have not even dreamt of. So, and I would also like to thank Globe Studies team because I think that if I was not applying with Globe Study, that would probably be really hard and stressing. But I could trust everything to Globe Study, and now I'm in Korea. Even today, when I was walking throughout the campus with my friends, I told them that I could never imagine myself studying in Korea, right? I used to watch a lot of like K dramas and stuff. So I told my friends I could not imagine doing that. So I'm really thankful that I'm here right now, and I'm really thankful for my life here. And I would wish a really like big luck to everyone. And yeah, I think that's all.
Okay, thank you so much, Sevinch. Yeah, good luck to you too. All right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
everyone. Bye bye. Thank you for
Yeah,
joining.
goodbye. Thank you.